Pokemon Legends Arceus is an incredible Pokemon game. Over my 24 hours of game time completing the main story of the game, there was a ton I wish I knew earlier, and honestly, there's quite a bit I still probably don't know. Here are my top 15 things that I wish I knew earlier, although, spoiler warning, some of these do teeter a little bit on that, so if you are a little bit worried about spoilers, maybe come back a little bit later and just review the list and see if there's something that I missed that you might know or not know. I don't know. Let's just start. Number 1. You can change the time of day in Jubilife, so you can pick up different quests at different times. This is something I didn't know until way later in the game, and honestly, I missed out on a lot of side quests that would have been easily accomplishable at the very beginning. Also, make sure to do the side quests, because they unlock a ton of different things, from new clothes to hairstyles, crafting recipes, and even some unlocking some extra shop inventory spots. There's even a quest that gives you a free shiny Ponyta. Number 2. Some fights just aren't fair. There are times that you will have to fight multiple Pokemon at the same time, so try and make sure to keep potions and revives on hand as much as possible. Unlike in some of the other games in the series, though, when you're fighting multiple Pokemon in the wild, they are catchable in battle immediately, so you can go and chain catch inside of fights. More importantly, though, on the note of chain catching, is actually outside of combat, you can throw Pokeballs at multiple Pokemon and be catching multiple at the same time. So, chain catching is super effective. Number 3. Turn order matters. Be sure to use it as much as possible to your favor with both agile and strong moves. You can end up planning for turns down the line, so be sure to look at that. Don't forget as well that if you do end up getting an extra turn with an agile attack, you can end up using a strong attack subsequently after if it's going to help finish off that Pokemon. So sometimes it's really good to abuse the system just to make sure that you can get that extra little bit of lethality to guarantee the knockout in trainer battles. Number 4. Fall damage kills you. It was one of the first lessons I learned, and it really sucked. By the same line as falling kills, make sure to travel as light as you can. You lose items when you die, so try and keep crafting materials in storage. Also, you can lose rare candies. Make sure to store any super valuable items as often as you can. Number 5. On the note of dying, when you die, you drop your satchel. Other players can find it, and it's going to get returned to you if they end up turning it in. They also get a reward for doing so. Now, these satchels are shown on the map, and turning them in rewards you a currency that can be used to buy items from a vendor in Jubilife. Tons of evolution items are here as well, so be sure to grab satchels whenever it's convenient to you to start saving up. Now, if you are playing offline in the single-player experience, other players will never find your satchel. But you can still find satchels on the ground pretty consistently. So be sure to keep that in mind, that at least to some degree, you're not entirely out and screwed by not being able to get satchels. Number 6. This one's just more of a random QOL that I figured out and really wish that I would have known earlier. But you can change Pokemon and throw balls by pressing ZR when in battle. So you can actually go through the little hotbar menu instead of actually having to switch to the menus. And ended up saving me a lot of time. So if you know your type effectiveness and things like that, right off the top of your head, it might be a little bit more convenient than running through menus. Number 7. On the note of Pokemon, though, Alpha Pokemon drop better loot. You can get EXP candy to evolution items, and a whole bunch of other things as well. It all just depends on the Pokemon's loot table. So fighting Alpha Pokemon and either catching them or killing them is always worth your time. Number 8. On the note of catching Alpha Pokemon, they're actually caught with enhanced stats as well, along with them being higher leveled normally versus other Pokemon. They also have a size increase and a few other just aesthetic things, but they also count as a Pokedex entry as well. So catching Alpha Pokemon can be super helpful to just knocking a whole bunch of things out fairly quickly, especially if you're behind on leveling up Pokemon and you kind of just want to catch up quickly and have something that can help grind. Just be sure to keep aware of the rank stuff with Arceus. Alpha Pokemon can very easily end up on the side for you of being too high of level compared to your rank. So make sure to pay attention to that as well, because sometimes you might have a Pokemon that won't be able to listen to you because you just got an Alpha. Number 9. Backstriking Pokemon for both battling and catching is super effective. If you just throw a ball at the back of a Pokemon, it increases their catch chance and makes some balls significantly more effective. Whereas for battling, it can make wild Pokemon just straight up lose turns, giving you a huge advantage in a battle. Number 10. Prolonged fights with wild Pokemon can cause them to become enraged and get stat bonuses across the board, making it a lot easier for them to take out your Pokemon. This includes just trying to catch them, so try and whittle down their health as much as possible in like higher evolved form Pokemon, so that you can try and prevent enraging and get the catch easier versus having to have a longer fight that ends up doing more damage to you in the long run. Number 11. Some status moves have changed, the biggest being Sleep, for me at least, which has changed to Drowsy, working like paralysis and making it so sometimes your Pokemon ends up just missing a turn from being too tired. Frozen also got changed in a significant way and is now Frostbite, which works a lot more like Burn and does damage after every single turn. Number 12. If your Pokemon are all knocked out, you're not just returned to camp like you would be to Pokemon centers in previous games. Be sure to just start running, since the Pokemon you are battling will most likely just go ahead and start attacking you instead of your Pokemon. The game, however, doesn't prevent you from just riding Weirdeer out to safety, and then fast traveling once you're at a safe distance, just to go ahead and heal. So as soon as you unlock fast traveling, it makes that kind of thing way easier to deal with. On the same note, when you're fighting boss battles, though, if you end up getting knocked out or blacked out and beaten by a Pokemon, you end up just having the ability to retry, so feel free to do that, versus being really panicked and worried about losing items against a boss. Number 13. Resting in camp works like the Pokemon Center and other games. You can also use this as a time to change the time of day, so you can end up going and hunting certain Pokemon and making life a little bit easier. Every camp also has a storage box and a crafting table, so you can end up keeping your inventory very, very light. You can also unlock extra camps by doing side quests, so if you see them out in the hub world, be sure to look at the quests, because there's a good chance as you're progressing through that you might just miss some camps. And grabbing these camps is super helpful for you being able to run around and access areas a little bit earlier, especially early game. So be sure to take advantage of camps as much as possible. Number 14. As you progress through the game, space-time distortions will begin to appear, and when they do, make sure to take advantage of them as much as possible. They have a ton of rare Pokemon that are really difficult to get, and some loot, especially evolution items, that end up being really easy to go ahead and just run through and grab, versus grinding points off of satchels. They also appear more commonly during the main story, so be sure to find them wherever you can and grab them and use them as much as possible. Otherwise, in post-game, it can be significantly more annoying. Number 15. There is a farm in the southwest corner of Jubilife that I wish I would have known about earlier. You could end up going and talking to one of the NPCs, and they can harvest a ton of different things for you, from apricorns to berries, and they end up actually having quests that you can do for them, which is how I realized, wait a second, is this something I can actually use? And these quests end up making the yields even better. So it's super nice to end up using this and taking advantage of it early game, because as you go on missions and stuff, you can come back and just get free yields of stuff. So it just gives you free items and things to use for crafting. So it's super, super easy, and I really wish I knew it earlier. Anyway, that's all 15 things I wish I knew before I started. Did I miss something you thought I should have had on here? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. Until next time, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.